ESG stands for environmental, social and governance, and is a term used by both companies and investors. It's usually used in two circumstances. First, if a company or business wants to label itself as being ESG, or if a stock is labelled as being ESG. In both cases, the business or the asset is considered to be more socially conscious than the norm. The benefits of ESG are quite apparent. It's positive because it's pushing the world towards a more environment and socially conscious world, one where both businesses and investors are concerned to make sure that they're investing and buying things that are positive and good for the environment. Exactly how these benefits play out differ depending on the context. For businesses, it can be good for their profit motive because it means that consumers are more likely to buy products that seem to be beneficial for the environment or for the social world. Similarly, it can be good for workers who want to work in companies that care and have those considerations. On the investors' front, some investors might want to diversify their portfolio and invest in things that are more socially conscious. It can also be a useful indicator about what stocks are more likely to be longer lasting and to survive past perhaps a world without fossil fuels or plastics. The concerns around ESG focus on the label itself and that it might actually be lacking in substance. This means that if a company is, for example, ESG friendly, doesn't actually mean a lot. So why is this? It's because as a metric or a standard, ESG isn't universally known to be one thing or the other. It's just a general effort to try and be more socially responsible or environmentally considerate, which means that companies have to self-report. So essentially they say what it is that they're doing that would make them ESG friendly or not. So what's the harm of this? Well, it leads to a thing called greenwashing, which is essentially where companies or stocks proclaim to be ESG friendly without actually making any big considerations to help the environment or help human rights, to help their own workers, or help people generally. And this can be quite harmful when companies are putting a lot of money towards this advertising or consulting to be ESG friendly, but not putting any money to actually helping the environment, changing their cost practices, or the way they treat their workers. So for many people, they think that it's kind of more of a fake label, and rather than actually having substance. So where does that leave us with the term ESG? And is it actually something that we should be giving value to? Well, the intentions behind its original creation were obviously positive, and it has done some good for the environment, for human rights, and for people generally. But it seems kind of unarguable that it does have some drawbacks. One of the key considerations moving forward is the fact that ESG doesn't just mean environmental protection or benefits towards reducing climate change or greenhouse gases. And many people think it should be separated from things such as advancing women in leadership or protecting human rights to give a more useful indicator about what it is that the company or the stock is actually in favour of. Additionally, it might be more useful if one of those terms could have a strict metric or standard about what makes it, for example, pro the environment or pro women in leadership. And the fact that the conflation of all these issues means that perhaps the true purpose behind ESG isn't actually being eventuated.
Join the conversation at Fair Observer and subscribe to our YouTube channel.